Hey everyone, I'm Larry Chen. This is my Toyota GR86 daily drifter, also a simple drift car. We're at the SEMA show and we're in the Toyota booth, and I'm really excited to show you guys this car. This all started from an idea that I had. I've been shooting Formula Drift for so many years, and I've been photographing Toyota's effort in Formula Drift. While those cars are amazing and those drivers are great, it's kind of hard to relate to those vehicles because they're just so beyond. Who knows how much they actually cost to build, $500,000, $1 million builds. Also, it costs a lot to run them. There's kind of a disconnect there, right? But Toyota has finally come out with a vehicle that I think is capable of just casual drifting, casual track driving at a pretty good price point. And that's kind of what I wanted to prove here. In fact, we took it that step further just 5 days ago before the show. I took it to the track, I drifted it, I did burnouts. I basically kind of did as much as I could to prove that, hey, this is a functional vehicle. And it is, it has forced induction, has an HKS supercharger. It's the first one in the US. And yeah, it's just a cool car. For those people who don't really understand about how much builds cost, I tell them that this is an $80,000 car and they just get blown away. But, things just add up. Supercharger, wheels, tires, brakes, like everything adds up. The aero kit, is about $10,000 just alone. But the point is that you don't need to do every single bolt-on like I did. You can just pick and choose, So it's about $50,000 worth of parts or so. But that's legitimately if you throw every single part that exists for this car on this car. And that's not including taxes, not including labor. But who knows what it'll end up, if you actually put everything together. And I'm sure you can get a lot of other cars around the same price point that are maybe perform better, but that's not the point. This is mine, and I wanted to build it this way. It depends on what you like, right? If you're into show, then spend all the stuff on the aesthetics. If you're into autocross or HPD track driving, then I would say focus on wheels, tires, suspension. You funnel the money where you want the performance to be, and yeah, I think you can go really far with $10,000. This drives like I want it to drive. The first time I took it to the track, I was thinking to myself in my head, all right, we did everything we could to get it to this point. We put all the knowledge that I've learned from learning how to drift and learning how to drive to get us to this point. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Let me just clutch kick it and see if it works. And man, I just started doing donuts and I was like, oh, this is pretty fun to drive. This is not bad. And I started rolling on the throttle. I started left foot braking. I started doing rolling burnouts, and it just worked. And the cool thing is, it's built in where you can watch the temperature, the oil and water temperature. So I'm making sure I don't push it too hard, especially because I didn't want to blow it up before the show. But I just wanted to prove that it actually drives, and it drives well. Yeah, I've had a chance to drive the GR Corolla pretty heavily on track and on the street. Wow, what a great car. It's funny because a lot of people have been asking me, it's like, oh, how's the launch control on that car? I'm like, there's no launch control. Every time you see me launch that car, I'm literally bouncing off the rev limiter and I just dump the clutch as fast as I can, and oh my god, that thing hooks up so good. You don't even need launch control. Why do you need launch control? I think it's so cool. They have the 3 models, right? Minus the Yaris. We don't get that in the US. I feel like they have their own advantages, every single one. I would use them for different things, right? So the Supra, I use it as a camera car chase vehicle because it's fast right out of the box. But honestly, that thing scares me because it's so fast. GR86, I think, is probably the best track car. You could toss it around and you can push it 10/10 without getting in trouble. The GR Corolla, I think that's honestly the best daily. That's the one you can drive over LA speed bumps and all the streets and whatever, and it just handles it because it's kind of like a rally-inspired build.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Really
Of course. Thank you.